Life offers you opportunities to reflect and to learn and grow every step of the way, at every turn, in every corner. My open heart surgery was no exception. In the wake of what I went through, I look back and reflect on it, and there are many lessons I have learned. Today, I'm going to share one such lesson with you. So sit back, relax, and spare me 5 minutes. Yeah, I'm sitting under a peach tree, which was doing fine until I started talking, and then the leaves decided to cover my face. Can't say God doesn't have a sense of humor, that's for sure. Anyway, um, the lesson that I'm going to share with you is what I would call a life lesson. It is something that you can apply to every aspect of your life, not just in the health category, but also in finances, business, relationship, whatnot. And the lesson comes through because of my heart surgery. You see, my dad, I call him my first hero. I've learned many things from my dad, and I've talked about it. I've written on my blogs. He was a wonderful man, but he had a heart attack when he was 50 years old. He had a wife and 5 children to take care of. He changed his ways. He changed his diet. He changed the way he did things. He changed the way he behaved. He was my role model as I was laying in bed waiting for them to decide when they're going to operate on me. See, my dad used to eat food. Now, mind you, this was almost 60 years ago when he had his heart attack. So I was a youngster, about 10 years, 11, 12 years old. We were living in Pakistan at the time, and he used to eat fresh cream with sugar and fresh flatbread layered with fresh butter. That was his breakfast with a cup of coffee. And then his lunch and dinner were not very different. Fried food for most part. When he had his heart attack, his doctor told him he would need to change his ways. And he did. And I will never forget the 180 that he did. He gave up on his cream and sugar breakfast. He cut out the cream from his coffee. I'm sorry, he cut out the sugar from his coffee. Took out the butter from his bread. And for lunch and dinner, for a whole year, I remember this distinctly. For a whole year, all he had was spinach soup. We'd get fresh spinach from the market. My mom would cut it up with some onions and garlic and ginger and the various spices and turmeric for sure. And she would cook it. And that's what he would have for lunch and for dinner. After a year of doing that, he added a little bit of meat once a week to his soup. I don't remember how long he stayed on that diet, but he went on to live another 25 years. Like I said, he is my hero, and he was my role model as I laid in bed looking at what lies ahead for me in life. I made the decision to change my ways. And as I work on my recovery, I think about him, I thank him, and I thank God for having him in my life. So, the lesson that I want to share with you today is find yourself a mentor, find yourself a role model. Whatever you do in life, find a role model, whether it's in business, whether it is in a relationship, whether it is in finances, friendship, raising children, whatever, whatever life you live, find yourself a mentor, find yourself a role model that you can follow, someone who you respect, love, and want to emulate. Having my dad as a role model has helped me overcome my bad eating habits just like that. Since my surgery, I have stopped eating outside, no junk food, no standard American diet for me. I have been uh, following his lead in I'm not just having spinach soup, I'm having chicken and vegetable soup that I or my wife make at home with all kinds of vegetables, um, with onions and tomatoes and garlic and ginger and turmeric. And those are good veggies that would help you improve your immune system. And then we toss in things like broccoli and cauliflower and carrot and celery and some spinach or good soup and some chicken. Actually, I boil the chicken first, turn it into a chicken broth, and then throw in the vegetables later on. It is good soup, and it keeps me sustained. I do. Oh, excuse me. I do have. I do have smoothies, fruit smoothies, but I have learned ways that help me keep the sugar out of my bloodstream because that is the killer. There's more to that, and I have more lessons that I would share. Lesson with the sugar is for another day. So, it's Mr. Weirdo signing off, reminding you that you can create magic.